What's going on, guys? King Leo here, back with another video, and this is episode 2 of my series I like to call Content Creator Questions or Creator Conversations, where I sit down with some of my favorite Pokemon Go content creators, just kind of pick their brains about their Pokemon Go experience. Today we have our good friend Mrs. Mom. Mrs. Mom, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm here, a little tired, but
Tired, yes.
it's been a very, very, very tiring weekend. But
Yes.
I mean, that is Go Fest, so
Yeah.
that's what to expect. So I'm going to go ahead and get right into the interview. I'll ask you a few questions.
Sure.
So the first question I have for you is, how did you first get started in Pokemon Go, and what made you stick?
So I played Pokemon as a kid when I was like 6 or 7 years old. I had Red and Yellow for the Game Boy,
Nice.
and I absolutely loved them. It was great. And then I think I played Gold, Silver, and then I kind of dropped off because it was like middle school, high school, and then other things caught my interest. So I kind of lost track of Pokemon then. But I heard about this awesome new game that was coming out in 2016 where you could catch Pokemon in real life. And I was like, I'm signing up.
Right.
Yes. So yeah, downloaded it day one. And despite the struggles on those early days, technologically, is that a word? I don't know. It was awesome. So I just kept playing since. And yeah, I've been hooked, from meeting the community, catching shinies, catching rare Pokemon, traveling the world,
Nice.
catching lots of regionals, and even like just special Pokemon from going out and like going to real world events and then having a Pokemon be a souvenir from that. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
So you were able to actually get in on day one.
I was. Yeah.
I tried for hours and hours on day one.
No
could
way.
not get in. That's why I tell people I'm a day 2 player.
Oh, okay,
Day
okay.
one-ish, but
Yeah.
it was tough for me to get in day one. But I mean, yeah, I agree, man. Like day one, like I heard about it. And funny story, a friend of mine and I were at work like a year prior to Pokemon Go like dropping.
Yeah.
We were just talking, it's like, yo, wouldn't it be cool if you could walk around playing Pokemon Go IRL, just take your phone out, you catch a Pokemon, and then when Pokemon dropped, literally like maybe 20 minutes after we got the news, he called me and was like, bro. And I just was like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He's like, we should have capitalized on our idea.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it was already in development well before we thought about it. But
Awesome. Yep. So
But-
cool.
what do you love most about Pokemon Go?
Ooh, so many things. Honestly, like I said earlier, just like being able to go out in the real world. Like, I'll give you a specific example, right? So last year, Jesse and Rachel,
Yeah.
they're content creators, and they're friends of mine, and they asked me to officiate their wedding,
Nice.
which was so special. And again, I met them through Pokemon Go because we were both making Pokemon Go content, or we were all making Pokemon Go content. And yeah, I officiated their wedding. I caught my first ever Wiglet while I was down there
Nice.
for that event. And I think it's just so cool that you can have these like Pokemon as your souvenir from these special events in your life. And it just means a lot to you, whether it means, a lot to someone else, right? Like maybe nobody cares about Wiglet, but for me, that Wiglet was really
I
special.
mean, that Wiglet has some sort of like, significance. behind
Exactly,
it, so.
exactly. So yeah, I think that's what I love about Pokemon Go. Yeah.
Gotcha. And I know you do the whole YouTube thing, and you have like a full-time job outside of it.
Totally.
How do you balance playing Pokemon Go, creating content for it, and like working a full-time job?
Yeah, that's that's a tough one. For me, it kind of fluctuates depending on a whole bunch of factors besides my job too, right? Like, because I would like to be a whole human being and have a life
Right.
outside of my job and outside of Pokemon Go, and like socialize with non-Pokemon Go people. Like, there's nothing wrong with those people, I promise.
Nothing wrong with it.
But I think it is definitely a balance, and there are some times when my life is a little less hectic and crazy, and I can spend more time focusing on Pokemon Go content. And then there are other times when my life is very busy, and I have to focus on that, and I can't necessarily make all the content I want to at that time. And truthfully, too, it's also of the I'm of the mindset of like, you're making content, and nobody should pressure you to like make the content you need to make in this moment.
Yeah.
I mean, there is some algorithm and like pushing that kind of content because people are looking up certain current events or whatever, right? However, like if you don't enjoy doing that, then it's not you're not enjoying it, and it's not fun to do. So like,
and it'll show up in the
exactly.
content if you don't enjoy it.
100%. Yeah. So that's my biggest advice is just make sure you're enjoying what you're doing and not just doing it just to do it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's okay to take breaks. You don't have to.
100%.
You have some people that put out content day after day
daily.
After day.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it.
I don't know how to do it either.
Yeah.
But, I mean, take breaks, take your time,
yeah,
and make sure you enjoy the content.
Yeah.
Your viewers will know if you enjoy what you put out or not.
Exactly.
And I mean, you kind of feel it too. Like because there have been times where I've been like halfway through a video, I'm just like, nah, my energy is just not there.
Yeah.
And then I put it out just to put it out, and then like I look at it, I'm like, yeah, I could have held off on that one.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a fine line for that too, because there are some people that are so hesitant to start because they're like, I need it to be perfect and I need it to be this and that. But truthfully, if you really want to make content, like start somewhere.
Just start.
Do it and make sure it is something that you are enjoying doing.
Yeah.
Because again, like people can tell when you're not enjoying what you're doing.
If you force it, it will show. For sure.
Yeah.
All right. How do you stay motivated to create fresh content for your followers?
Yeah, it's a tough one because I do feel like we just said it. You only want to make content, or at least for me, like I want to make content that I definitely enjoy doing and I want to fully invest in.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's not always the case. Sometimes the game is in a little bit of a lull and I'm not feeling super motivated. That's like just the truth, and I feel like that happens to everyone, whether you see it or not.
Yeah.
But for me, it is making sure I am actually enjoying what I'm doing. A big part of that is traveling, and if I am traveling somewhere and I want to highlight whether there's an event or not, like some cool things that I did there, then yeah, absolutely. I think that's what motivates me is actually traveling. It's not the most budget efficient, but like, if there's something exciting happening in your life, even if it's in the same city you live in, then, highlighting that and like showing that off, I think is just as good.
I mean, because there are times where we have events and I'm just like, nah.
Yeah.
Or there's times where we'll have events and I'll put out 2-3 videos in a week. And then, like I said, sometimes I'll go month and a half without putting out anything just because the motivation isn't there. So, I mean, definitely got to have balance.
Sure.
There is burnout.
Yes, and burnout is very
Burnout
real.
is a thing, and trust me, I've experienced it quite a few times.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is your biggest challenge when creating Pokemon Go content?
I think for me, it's sometimes imposter syndrome, and I think that's relatable for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But like sometimes you're like, oh, like I like what this person is doing. Let me try this also.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel authentic or whatever. And I'm like, oh, I'm not. This isn't working. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to create content. Blah 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 blah. So I don't know, staying motivated is finding a new angle, right? And finding something you're actually passionate and exciting about. I'll give you an example. Like I started doing those shorts a little while ago with Smoliv, trying out different like brunch spots or pizza spots.
Yeah.
And frankly,
those are fun, by the way.
It's so fun. Thank you. I enjoy doing them because it's like I like food content and I've never really jumped into it, but I also love the AR aspect of Pokemon Go. So I was able to combine that and show off something really cool. And people are always looking for food recommendations in New York too. So I was like, this is like the perfect storm of like the kind of short content I want to put out. So yeah, that's just finding a different angle.
Something different too. It's
I
mean, and I'm not just saying this because I know you and you're right here, but like I look forward to it because it's like I want to see what you're gonna do next.
Sure, yeah.
It's always like, all right, she did this last time with Smaller. What is she gonna do next time with Smaller?
Where are we gonna go next?
So it's like. It's one of those things where you have to try to make sure you're not trying to mimic someone else because that happens a lot. Like I know when I first started, I tried to mimic every Pokemon Go YouTuber all at once.
Totally.
I just had to find something that like felt authentic and natural to me.
Yeah.
And that worked a lot better than trying because I noticed like the views. I mean, I'm not really concerned about the views, but I noticed people watch the stuff that's not everything else they already see.
Yeah. So, it's not like if you're trying to copycat someone, it's just not going to work because like you got to be authentic to you.
Yeah, we've already seen this, so we don't want to see you do it
too. It's like, oh, this is not original.
Not original at all. As far as like criticism, have you experienced any negative criticism? And how do you handle it if you have?
Um, I mean, there are definitely some moments of criticism that I can think of. Um, Typically, you try to take it with a grain of salt, right? Because it's maybe a comment on a video, and you're
Yeah.
like, all right, so this anonymous person is having some kind of reaction to your video, and like they don't know you, I don't
I
know
don't know
them,
you at all.
so you take it with a grain of salt. Now that being said, it like you can always consult like a friend or a mentor who is also maybe a content creator and be like, hey, can I like maybe up this tech better? Do you think I should edit this differently? And like talk to your friends, like
Yeah.
collaborate in that way, not necessarily on camera, but collaborate behind the scenes and be like, hey, I'm not sure about like what I'm doing here. Can you guys give me a little bit of feedback? And typically, like other content creators are super cool about it. Like maybe don't go up to a random stranger, like or another content creator stranger that you
That
don't
you've
actually
never
know.
met, yeah.
Yeah, who's never met you before, but like yeah, like make friends and like reach out to each other because you do want to build a community that way also, and
Yeah.
that's always helpful in terms of motivation also because you like support each other. You're trying to encourage each other so everyone is getting a win. And you're excited for each other's wins. I can give you another example right now. Is that on the official Pokemon Go Instagram on their stories, they posted a photo of Landor and True Inferno, and I screenshotted it and I sent it to them, and they were like, "Oh my god, we made it somewhere!" And I was like,
Right?
"Yeah, it's awesome.
Those are always fun to see, especially
Yeah,
when you see people like, "Hey, I know that person."
I know that person. Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
it's great. Yeah,
So speaking of like reaching out to some of your friends and content creators, have you ever collaborated with anybody doing Pokemon content before?
yeah, for sure. Let's see. I'm trying to think of some specific examples. I mean, obviously, we've done like lots of collaborations here at like large events like GoFest or Tour or Go Tour, I should say, or Safari Zones, where you're just meeting up with a bunch of content creators and like everyone is trying to catch as many shinies as possible,
Yeah.
doing shiny races, things like that. Trying to remember the last one. The last one I think I did was it was a community day where True Inferno and I went out to Long Beach, and I think we were doing a shiny competition for that particular community day, and I ended up losing, or we tied or something, and then we did a Go Battle League battle to see who won. That was the tiebreaker. He ended up winning, and I owed him an ice cream, which he redeemed like 2 years later.
True doesn't forget at
Yeah.
all. True does not forget.
Nope, he did not.
Um, so what advice would you give to someone who's trying to start content creation, whether it be Pokemon Go or just content creation in general?
Just do it. Honestly,
Yeah.
yeah, get started. It doesn't need to be perfect. And again, like that, I think that's the biggest thing that holds back a lot of like newer creators is that they think it needs to be perfect, and
Yeah,
I
they
need
do.
this much equipment, and I need this and this and this, and then, like truthfully, work with what you have. Like use your phone to record a video.
Yeah, like
You're-
I'm doing now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Your phones take great video these days. Mics can also pick up. You can pick up pretty affordable mics on
Yeah.
like the internet somewhere, and or you don't need to buy one at all. Truthfully, you can just start with what you have and then work your way from there. There's no need to try to be perfect right away, but just do your thing and then find your voice.
Yeah.
That's really it.
I mean, because for me, like, I wanted to do YouTube for easily 2 years.
Yeah,
And I was like, I need this camera,
Yeah.
I need this laptop.
yeah.
And then one day I was just sitting down with my girlfriend. She was like, you have two phones. Why don't you record one and play on the other? I was
Totally.
like, man, it's not going to be this. It's not. She's like, just do it.
Do it.
And it's all the motivation
Yeah.
I need. And I haven't
Yeah.
looked back since. I think
Amazing.
as of yesterday, I'm like 2 years and a month into it.
Hey,
so,
heck
I mean,
yeah.
But just start. I mean, I completely agree. Like,
Yeah.
there's no need to try to stress yourself out or
Totally.
think you need perfect this or perfect that. Like,
Totally.
I completely agree 100%. Just
Yeah.
start.
Yeah.
Like, it gets easier as you go, but it's just like the
It does.
start is what's the hardest. to
Yes.
get
Yeah.
through. As far as in-person events, we are at Pokemon Go Fest, Jersey City / New York this weekend. What would be some advice you would give to people to prepare for an in-person event?
Um, this this might be some self promo, but like watch YouTube videos from like locals.
Yeah.
They give really good advice about like
Really?
local.
This one. This one.
Well, okay, so I use that too, though. Like when I go other places, for example, I'm going to Paris next week.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of videos I've watched about like this is how you get around in Paris, and this is the food things you should look out for, and these are the scams you should avoid, and like things
Yeah.
like that. I'm like, that's so helpful because obviously they live there, so they know, their city really, really well. You might as well take advice from them. So yeah, just try to consume that kind of content, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't tell you how many. I've watched a ton of yours.
Oh,
I watched Dandy.
yeah.
There's a few other New York creators that I watch, and I'm like, all right, they're saying do these things,
Mm-hmm.
so let me just do some of them
Yeah.
and see what works for me. But yeah, I mean, I agree. Like that definitely helps. Like you don't
Mm-hmm.
want to go into it blind, even if you aren't, paying attention to someone who's a local. I mean, there are plenty of content creators that have videos out that have been to
Absolutely.
these in-person events. So I mean,
Absolutely.
YouTube is your best friend.
Yeah.
YouTube, just
YouTube has all the information. I learned so many things off of YouTube, right?
I learn random facts from YouTube.
I have a college degree, but I feel like I learned more off of YouTube.
YouTube is like, digital university, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, come on, where's my degree, YouTube?
Right? I think I should have one somewhere.
Right?
How do you think GoFest has evolved over the years? Has it become more accessible to content creators, or is it more difficult for content creators?
That was you.
Yeah, that was my mic box. It's whatever. It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
We'll continue. I think it's definitely become more accessible, not only for content creators, but like for everyone in general. But they improve it year after year. They invite more content creators and utilize them more in effective ways for programming, like throughout the event. They have notable trainer meet and greets, which I'm sure people have been begging for since the beginning.
Yeah.
Like everyone wanted to be trainerships, like back in 2017. But that wasn't a thing until, what was it, 2022, 2023, I think?
I think, was it right after?
Right after the pandemic, I think, yeah. So I think they do listen to the community more, and there is, from the developers, there is more openness to listen to content creators, to the community, creating the community ambassador program, right? Like, I think, it is much more accessible, and being able to like shoot that content throughout the weekend has been a blessing, because there's just been so many moments where I'm like, I need to film this, or I need to record, or I need to plan, what content I'm doing here, versus actually grinding the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably the hardest thing to balance for me, is trying to create content and like play the game. I mean,
Yeah.
I've done pretty well this weekend.
Yeah.
Last year it just didn't happen. I had like 4 or 5 videos I planned on doing when I got here, and it was just like my first in person was just extremely overwhelming.
It's very overwhelming.
So I was just like, you know what?
Yeah.
It'll be what it is.
Yeah.
I'll film what I can, and if I don't get it filmed, I'm not stressing out about it.
Totally okay. Yeah.
I mean, I had an amazing time. So.
Yay! Good. And you're back this year. So
back this year. Yeah. Hopefully next year I'll be back if it's in Chicago.
Chicago would be great.
I mean, it's the 10-year anniversary. So
10-year anniversary.
But
Chicago, maybe San Francisco. Seattle was awesome too, honestly.
I wanted to go to Seattle. The cards weren't
no.
there, not at all. But I mean, you guys seem to have some fun, so I enjoyed it vicariously through you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of already touched on this, but this will be the last question.
Okay.
What advice would you give players attending their first GoFest, especially if they want to create content during the event?
Be prepared to be overwhelmed.
Yeah.
That is totally acceptable. Also, like, you might have a plan and then it totally derails. For example, I said I would try to be floating around and be in the park most of the weekend. I'm not.
I mean,
I'm not.
It worked out because we were able to actually get this interview
That's
done.
true.
So.
Yeah, we were able to get it done. But
we had a plan for it yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
The rain just
the rain messed it up.
Everything. But
oh my gosh, yeah.
You being here now made it possible.
Yeah. So being flexible and being okay with that, I think, is a big thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, what else can I say? Yeah, do as much preparation as you can in terms of, the practical stuff, like I've said. But also the game aspects too. Like, what shinies are you looking for? Are you planning to do this as like a shiny race? Are you looking to do some really unique location that no one else is thinking about? what kind of content or what angle do you think you might want to go in for? It doesn't necessarily have to be what you stick with ultimately, but like maybe have a rough idea.
Yeah, just
and then be flexible about
just like a little like rough idea and just kind of see what happens and kind of go with the flow.
Totally.
Because I wanted to film way more content
Yeah.
yesterday, but
Yeah.
that rain was not helping at all.
Yeah.
And it kept like starting, stopping.
Yeah.
So at some point, I just put the camera back in my bag.
Yeah.
And forget it.
Hey, I didn't even bring my big camera today because I was like, I just can't. I can't do it.
It's definitely don't want to ruin your equipment at
Nope.
all.
Nope.
All right. So where can everybody find you on your socials?
Yeah, I am on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, X, whatever it's called now.
That website?
That website. Yeah. Blue Sky. I'm pretty much everywhere. I'm Mrs. Mime 100.
So same name on all socials and everything?
Everywhere, yep.
Gotcha. All right, well, Mrs. Mime, I really appreciate you sitting down with me.
Totally.
Had fun. Definitely wanting to, do something like this in the future.
For sure.
But yeah, I really appreciate you sitting down with me. But all right, guys. With that being said, this is going to be the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on bell notifications so you guys know when I upload a video. And also follow Mrs. Mom on all of her socials. Every single one of them. Just go follow. Like, stop what you're doing. Go follow her right now. I will have all of her information linked in the description below. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.